Hello everyone, Tina here. I hope your day is going wonderful. I'm so glad you're joining me for another 5 easy step card tutorial. We're making a Christmas card today, and I'm using a die set from Spellbinders to create my focal point, which is step number 1. We'll jump in just a minute, but I do want to mention, look how cute this is. This is a little cocoa cup, and you can fill it with a whole bunch of things, all things Christmas. It's called Cocoa Wonderland. Actually, this is part of a brand new collection at Spellbinders called Wonderland. And I like the Wonderland collection so much that I picked out a few extra die sets too from that collection. We're going to be making a card with the 3 Magi. This is a stamp and die set. To create those wise men, I don't think it takes much at all. And I like that there's a coordinating stamp set. So on the 22nd or the 26th, I'm not sure, I'll be creating a 5-step card with this. And then I'm also going to be using the Yuletide Ride. Look how cute this is. Oh my goodness, I just love how it's all balanced on top of that little car. So sweet. That's what this die set looks like. All of these are from the Wonderland collection. So 2 more 5-step cards, Christmas cards. One will be the 22nd, one will be on the 26th of this month. And I just wanted to share that with you. If you wanted to go check out that collection, I'll leave it down below. But we're going to focus on our card today, and we're going to create our step number 1, which is our focal point. And let's go ahead and do a little bit of die cutting. I picked out, we're going to go traditional colors today. So I picked out some greens and reds. The cocoa cup for the base is going to be with white cardstock. There's the handle, which is cool because you can make a Santa with or without the handle. And I'm not sure if I want to make it with a handle or not. So, but we'll die cut it out just in case. I'm going to take, let's see. This is the cuff of the top of the mug, or Santa's hat, I would say. And then you have the mustache, the Santa stash. And I thought we would go, instead of red cardstock, I thought we'd bring in some mirror red cardstock. Hello. I thought I'd add a nice little something to our card today. And this mirror cardstock is from Spellbinders. It's from their new treasured cardstock. I love the gold and the silver. I've used it often in my videos. And I like that there's a whole bunch of different styles. Yeah, there's glitter. There's a few metallics. This is mirror metallic. And then there's also a pearl, which is really nice. But for Santa's hat, which will be like the whipped cream on the cocoa mug, I don't know what it is, but I love whipped cream dies. I'm going to die cut out that with the mirror, along with this piece here. I'm going to use as the pom-pom, so we're going to die cut that out too with the mirror. Okay, I'm also going to die cut out an ornament. I wanted 2 ornaments. And what I'm going to do is die cut out both of the top and the bottom. This creates a striped ornament, both with white and both with red. So I'm going to flip-flop them and create 2 ornaments that are the same colors but a little bit different. I'll show you what I mean when I die cut these out. So we'll cut that out. I'm also going to create a present, and I'm using some green cardstock. I'm actually going to bring in a darker green too. Let me go get some. So we have peridot, and then we have fern or rainforest. And we'll cut those out. I'm also going to use those same color of greens and create 2 Christmas trees. There's a star at the top that you can add. And so we'll take that star along with the bow element. And for these, I'm going to bring in some silver glitter cardstock. Cut this out. Okay, and Santa's face, I'm going to bring in this is actually an older Spellbinders Color Essential cardstock. This is Barely Peach. They don't have this anymore, unfortunately, but it's like the perfect shade. You could also use an alcohol marker and color in white cardstock to create a color. E11 I think would work great for that. We have Santa's nose, which I'm going to color pink. And this piece here are Santa's cheeks and his eyebrows that I'm going to cut out with white also. Now I created an ornament already. What I love is I put the topper on it already. But then what I love is the stripes. It's so nice that you don't have to fuss with these individual lines to create a striped ornament. All you do is take this piece and just, am I upside down here? It's just line it up on the debossed area. And there is no fuss with stripes. And then you see how it creates two different ornaments? Kind of looks like candy cane. I like that. Okay, we're going to take the star and add it to our Christmas tree. And I already did this one, so that's good to go. And for our present, we are just going to add a little thin bead of glue, and then we'll add the topper, which I cut out with the darker rainforest cardstock because I like the contrast. And then I'll add a glue right down the middle, and we can add the bow. So cute. I love how easy this is to put together. And then this is the ribbon. So adorable. That's all done. And now we're going to put together Santa. Now I do want to mention for Santa I did something a little bit different. Let me show you. When you die cut out Santa, he has a square bottom, and then if you add the mug here, I mean that just looks adorable. Okay, but you see how it's curved a little bit? What I did was bring in a circle die. This is my Postage edge circles, and what I did was take my circle, lined it up at the very bottom to create the curve. So basically we're just trimming off this side and this side. I did that to this Santa. I did that because I want my focal point to be inside of my home panel. Okay, and so we just changed the shape. You don't have to do that, but I just thought it was a little playful. Okay, I'm going to add some glue to this piece, and I cut this out with both pieces with white, and we're just going to layer them together. Now I'm going to add some glue here to the eyebrows, and we will just punch these out, and then I can add some eyebrows here to Santa. There's debossed area, which is lovely because you know exactly where to put it. And I'm also going to add some glue here, and this is where we can add our stash, Santa's mustache. Okay, we have Santa's nose, which we colored in pink, and we're going to add this. That's so cute. Okay, now I'm going to take this and lay it over the debossed area that is on Santa's beard. And then I put a thin bead of glue at the very top of Santa's head. You want to make sure that he's positioned on that debossed area. I'm going to take the cuff. Now I'm doing this a little bit different because I'm going to actually pop up Santa's face. And I want the cuff of the hat to be popped up too. So we'll attach this, okay? And then we're going to attach this piece, which is whipped cream for Santa's hat. So fun. Look how cute it is. How cute is that? Okay, and then we have this piece. We're going to add a little glue here, and we are going to tack down. And you could put it behind or in front. It doesn't matter, but I like the shape of the whipped cream. Okay, after this is done, now there are all these two little circles for Santa's cheeks, but I'm not going to add them. What I'm going to do is take a marker. This is my RV10, and I'm just going to rosy up Santa's cheeks. Maybe add a little color to his nose too. We're going to flip this over, and then I have some black foam squares that are going to work perfectly behind those eyes, and I don't have to inset any black, look at, now I don't have to add any black cardstock. And it is a little sticky, you can see here. You could add powder to this, but I don't think it's that big of a deal. If you go over it with your hands a few times, it kind of removes the tackiness from it. But it's a dual purpose. Makes it really easy. Okay, now with Santa's smile, we're going to flip this over. I'm going to add some glue behind here. And then I'm going to take a piece of pink cardstock, and we're just going to cover this up. I'm going to take my craft tool, and all these little areas that are on Santa's beard, just for a little extra dimension, I'm going to actually flip those up. Flip it over, push them in. This is just going to give Santa's beard even more dimension. So we have a little fluff to Santa's beard. Okay, I'm going to remove the release paper just off of Santa's eyes, and then we're going to add Santa to the base. And then we have some dimension to Santa. This is what the back looks like. This is actually even with this piece. Okay, and that's all there is to this. Now I mentioned the handle for Santa's for the cup. And I don't know if I want to use this or not. I don't think I want to put the handle on my cup today. We're just going to make Santa for our focal point. Okay, so these are all of our focal point elements. Okay, we're going to put these to the side and work on step number 2, which is creating our home panel. I'm bringing back my postage edge circles, and using that mirror red cardstock, I'm going to take my postage edge circle, a little die cutting with the same circle that I used for my Santa's bottom here. It's the same one. It actually has dotted detail. And I'm going to take this and cut this out with some craft cardstock. And then I'll take my craft. We're going to add some glue behind here. And I'm going to layer it on that red mirror. Okay, we'll press down really good, and then that will be my home panel. Okay, let's take Santa. Now when I add Santa here, that dotted pattern continues. Let me show you. You see that dotted pattern? I love doing this to our home panel. I mean, how cute is this? I just love it. Okay, let's do a little tucking with these elements. With these elements, I'm going to bring in some smaller foam squares. So our focal point and our home panel are all done. Now we're going to move along to step number 3 and create our sentiment. Now for our sentiment, I'm bringing in a better press. Not everybody has a better press. And I understand that, but if you took a circle die, stamped the greeting inside a circle die, you could do the same thing. The reason I'm bringing in my better press is because I have a greeting that's a circle greeting. You can just use a stamp and stamp a Christmas greeting inside of a circle to create the same effect, which is nice. This has several dies that cut out the greetings, and it does a lot at one time. So the one I'm making today could be used for 5 more cards. So I'll just put my press plate on my machine, and I'm going to use my archival ink here. I'm not going to use any cotton cardstock. I just have my heavyweight. It's about 120 pound weight cardstock that I'm going to use to better press my greetings here. Okay, and then I'll add my platen right over the top, and we'll bring in my die cutting machine. We will run this through my Platinum 6. Okay, and we have 6 greetings to choose from. Now I'm going to take the coordinating die and I'm going to line this up here. We will just tape this down and I will die cut this out. Okay, so now we have 6 greetings that we can use. I'm going to take a glue dot and put it at the very top of my greeting here. And then I have some white twine I'm going to tie a bow with. And we are going to add this. We're going to make a faux tag to that glue dot. I'm using white to kind of keep things neutral. But if you wanted to put an eyelet through there, you could. But I think that's going to work out just fine. And that's my greeting. Okay, we're going to move along to step number 4 and create our background. For my background today, I thought we'd use some pattern papers. I'm using a 6x6 paper pad from Simple Stories. It's called Snap Color Vibe. This has been in my stash for a while. 2012 is the date it came out. I don't even know if they have this anymore. But if you have a polka dot stamp, you could do the same thing. If you have a polka dot different pattern paper, you could use that. But you know, I'm a stripe and polka dot girl. I'm going to use the brown that was in here. I went ahead and picked that out. I thought brown will go perfect with our card today. And I'm going to trim this to, so this is 3.5 inches wide by 5.5 inches tall. And then I also have a 1/2 inch strip of my peridot cardstock. I'm going to add a thin bead of glue. This is actually the left side. And I'm going to attach my peridot to the left side. And we will trim away the excess. And then this is going to go all the way to the right of my card base. So I have a white strip here. We'll put this over here. Now before I lay this part down, I'm going to bring back my white twine. I'm going to trim down a piece here. And then I'm going to add some twine. I like adding textures to my cards. I'm going to tuck it under here. Basically what I'm doing is covering my seam. I'm going to trim the size down a little bit more. Okay, and then I can tuck this end over here. I'm going to add a little more glue behind here. And I'm going to tuck that twine underneath that peridot. And we're going to cover the seam with a little texture. It may take a second for it to grab, but we have a little texture on the card. I always like to add that. Don't those polka dots look so fun? Okay, let's add our home panel with our focal point. And then I'm going to take my greeting and we're going to put a foam square behind here. And since we have that twine, we are going to take the knot that is on our faux tag is going to go layered over the twine that's covering our seam. And we're going to do a little tucking with this, just so it's flowing nice and it looks like it's part of that. There, I think that looks really cute. It's so cute. Now we're going to move along to step number 5, and it's time to embellish. We're going to embellish today. I am going to bring in my silver stickles. A lot of people have asked if my stickles has dried out. I've been really lucky with my stickles. Let me show you. I have 2 reds here, and this one is a new one. But this I've had for like 2 years. And let me see if it's dried out. See, this still works. I have good luck with my stickles. None of them dry out on me. I'm sure if you have it over 2 years, I think then that's when they dry out. But yeah, my stickles have been wonderful. I even have even my gold. Let me see. Yeah, I've had this gold for quite a while. It does thicken up a little bit, but it doesn't dry out on me. But I'm going to take this and I'm going to add a little sparkle to my Christmas tree by adding some ornaments. We're going to add some ornaments to our Christmas tree. So now one of our tree has some silver ornaments, and then I'm also going to bring in my red Color Essential gems, and we're going to doctor up the other tree with some red gems. And I'm just going to use the smaller ones that I have. I think that's perfect. And that finishes off my card today in 5 easy steps. Fun little Santa card using the Spellbinders Cocoa Wonderland die set and a few extra crafty goodies. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a wonderful day, and we will see you again real soon. Bye-bye. Thanks so much for sticking with me to the end. I have 2 more videos that you guys might be interested here. If you guys are new and like the content that you see, click that subscribe button and also the notification bell. That way for future videos, be notified. Also, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It sure does help the channel. Have a wonderful day. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.